Within you, right now, lies a vast and untapped reservoir of financial potential. There is a version of you that is more prosperous, more secure, and more creatively fulfilled than you can currently imagine. This is not a fantasy. It is a fact. But this potential is currently caged, and the cage is not in the external world. It is not your job, your boss, or the economy. The cage is in your mind. It is an invisible prison built of your own limiting beliefs, your own fears, and your own self-sabotaging habits. The walls of this prison are the mental barriers we all construct. It is the quiet, insidious voice that whispers, "You're not smart enough to invest." It is the paralyzing fear of failure that keeps you from starting that business you dream about. It is the deep, unexamined belief that you are simply not the kind of person who is destined for wealth. It is the procrastination that tells you to start tomorrow, a tomorrow that never comes. These are the bars of your self-imposed prison. For too long, we have treated these barriers as fixed parts of our personality, as unchangeable character flaws. We say, "That's just the way I am." But the great secret of the ancient Stoic philosophers, the first and greatest psychologists, is that these walls are not made of stone. They are made of smoke. They are built of nothing more than our own opinions, our own judgments, and our own unchallenged thoughts. And anything built of thought can be dismantled by thought. This channel is a gymnasium for the mind. We do not train your muscles here, we train your mindset. We do not lift weights, we lift limiting beliefs. We are here to provide you with the philosophical tools and the mental training necessary to shatter every single barrier that is holding you back. If you are ready to stop being a prisoner and start being a powerhouse, then get your membership. Like this video and subscribe to begin your training. Today, we are going to hand you the keys. This is a Stoics guide to systematically identifying and demolishing the mental barriers that have capped your financial potential. We will show you how to unlock the immense power that is already within you, to break free from your invisible cage, and to finally begin the joyful and rewarding work of amassing the real, substantial wealth you are truly capable of achieving. Let's tell the story of a woman named Maya. Maya was brimming with potential. She was a brilliant graphic designer, praised by her clients, and she had a dozen incredible ideas for her own design agency. She was a diligent saver, managing to put away a small portion of her income each month. But for all her talent and discipline, her financial life was completely stagnant. She was living in a cage and did not even know it. The first wall of her prison was the wall of limiting beliefs. Growing up, she had absorbed the idea that creative people aren't good with money. She had accepted this narrative without question. So, despite her intelligence, she avoided learning about investing. She told herself it was too complicated for her. In the language of the Stoics, she had accepted a false impression as truth, and this false belief became a self-fulfilling prophecy. The second barrier was the moat of procrastination. The idea of starting her own agency felt so huge, so overwhelming, that she never knew where to begin. So she did nothing. She lived in a perpetual state of, "I'll start next month," or "I'll do it when I have more time." The Stoics would say she was a slave to the future, to a fantasy of a perfect moment, while neglecting the only point of power she truly possessed, the present moment. The third barrier was the guard tower of fear. She was terrified of failure. What if she invested her savings and lost it all? What if she started her business and it failed? The thought of the potential loss and shame was so paralyzing that she chose the safety of inaction. She was, as the Stoics would say, a slave to externals, valuing her savings more than the growth and wisdom that would come from a courageous attempt. And the final barrier was the ghostly warden of imposter syndrome. On the rare occasions when she did have a small success, a freelance project that paid well, she felt a sense of unease, as if she didn't truly deserve it. She had a deeply flawed judgment about her own worth, a feeling that she was a fraud who was just one step away from being found out. This prevented her from ever truly owning her success and building upon it. These four barriers, limiting beliefs, procrastination, fear, and self-doubt, had formed an invisible and inescapable prison around Maya's potential. She was like a powerful eagle who had been raised in a chicken coop, believing it was a chicken. She had the capacity to soar, but she spent her days scratching in the dirt, completely unaware of the sky that was rightfully hers. This is the silent tragedy of so many lives. It is not a lack of talent or opportunity that holds us back, but a lack of awareness of our own self-imposed limitations. We are our own worst enemies. We are the architects of the very prisons from which we long to escape. We are the jailers, and we are also the prisoners. But there is good news. The most profound and empowering truth of Stoicism is that you are also the one who holds the key. The entire philosophy is built on the radical and liberating premise that your mind is yours to command. Your beliefs, your judgments, your fears, they are not fixed realities. They are mental events, and you have the power to challenge, to change, and to conquer them. This is the master key that unlocks every gate. The understanding that your inner world is not a fixed landscape you must endure, but a dynamic territory that you can reshape through the power of your own reason. You are not the victim of your own psychology. You are its master. This is the ultimate permission to begin the great work of your own liberation. So let us begin the jailbreak. Let us take the Stoic keys and go to work on Maya's prison, which is also our own. The first barrier is the wall of limiting beliefs, the idea that I'm not a money person. The Stoic key for this is the sledgehammer of reason. You must treat this belief not as a fact, but as an accusation, and you must cross-examine it relentlessly. You must ask, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught us to do with all our impressions, what are you and on what authority do you speak? You must challenge the belief directly. Is it objectively true that I am incapable of learning about money? Have I ever made a serious, sustained effort? Or is this just a story I have been telling myself out of laziness or fear? Reason is a powerful solvent. When you shine its bright light on a limiting belief, the belief often dissolves, revealed as the flimsy, insubstantial thing it truly is. You will discover that I'm not a money person is not a statement of fact, but a statement of identity you have chosen. And any identity that you have chosen, you can choose to discard. The second barrier is the moat of procrastination. The Stoic key for this is the crowbar of the present moment. The reason we procrastinate is that we focus on the overwhelming entirety of the task. The Stoic, however, knows that the future is an illusion. The only reality, the only point of action, is the present moment. Your job is not to start a business. Your job is to take the next single, smallest, controllable action. You must break down your monumental goal into a series of laughably small, present moment actions. You don't start an agency. You spend 5 minutes researching a business name. You don't learn how to invest. You watch one 5-minute video about what an index fund is. The crowbar of the present please loose the boulder of procrastination by breaking it into 1,000 tiny, manageable pebbles. The third barrier is the guard tower of fear, the fear of failure. The Stoic key here is the shield of perspective. This is the ability to reframe the very meaning of failure. From a Stoic perspective, the only true failure is a failure of character. The only true loss is a loss of virtue. Losing money is an external event. It is a dispreferred indifferent. It is not a reflection of your worth. The real victory is not in the financial gain. It is in the courageous and virtuous attempt. The man who starts a business with prudence and courage and fails has succeeded in the only way that truly matters. He has grown in character. The man who is too afraid to even try has failed in the most profound way. This perspective shift robs failure of its sting and transforms it from a terrifying monster into a valuable teacher. The final barrier is the warden of imposter syndrome, the feeling of being unworthy. The Stoic key is the mirror of true worth. You must learn to see your value not in your external accomplishments, which will always feel fragile and unearned, but in your internal character. Your worth is not in what you do, it is in who you are. Your worth is in your commitment to learning, your courage to try, your resilience in the face of setbacks, your honesty, your integrity. These are the true measures of a human being. When your self-esteem is grounded in these internal controllable virtues, the feeling of being a fraud becomes impossible. You are worthy because of your character, and your character is something you are building with honor every single day. These are the 4 keys. The sledgehammer of reason to shatter your limiting beliefs, the crowbar of the present to defeat procrastination, the shield of perspective to disarm your fear of failure, and the mirror of true worth to banish your imposter syndrome. These are the tools of your liberation. They are simple, they are powerful, and they are yours to wield. This is the Stoic science of the mind. It is a practical, actionable, and profoundly empowering psychology. It is the understanding that you are not a prisoner of your own thoughts and feelings, but their rightful master. The cage is unlocked. The path to your full potential is now open. The only question is whether you will have the courage to step out into the open air of your own freedom. The journey out of the prison is a process of practice. It is not enough to understand these keys intellectually. You must use them every single day until their use becomes a habit, until the mindset of freedom becomes your new default state. This is where the real work begins, the daily, disciplined application of the philosophy. The most powerful tool for this practice is the journal. Your journal is the workshop where you will forge your new mind. It is the gymnasium where you will train your new mental muscles. It is the laboratory where you will conduct the experiments of your own transformation. As it was for Marcus Aurelius, your journal will become your most trusted advisor and your most honest friend. Every morning you will use it to challenge your limiting beliefs. You will write down the old tired story, "I'm not good at this," and then you will write a new, more rational and more empowering one. "I am a person who is capable of learning and growing in all areas of my life." You are literally rewriting the code of your own mind. Every evening, you will use your journal to practice gratitude and to reflect on your progress. You will write down one small step you took that day, one small victory over procrastination. You will celebrate the attempt, not the outcome. You are building a chain of evidence that proves your old, limiting beliefs were lies. You are creating a new identity, one small, successful action at a time. This process of small, consistent action is the secret to building momentum. The great wall of your prison will not be toppled by a single heroic blow. It will be dismantled brick by brick with the patient and persistent application of your daily efforts. Each small win, each conquered fear, each broken belief weakens the entire structure until one day it collapses under its own weight. Another powerful Stoic practice is the contemplation of the sage. You must have a role model of the person you want to become. This could be a historical figure like Seneca or Marcus Aurelius, or it could be a modern investor or entrepreneur you admire for their wisdom and character. Before making a difficult decision, you will ask yourself, what would this wiser person do? How would they think? How would they act? This practice gives you a model to emulate. It provides a clear picture of the destination you are moving toward. It lifts you out of your own limited perspective and allows you to borrow the strength and wisdom of your ideal self. You are acting as if you are already the person you want to become, and in doing so, you are accelerating your own transformation. And as you walk this path of liberation, you must learn to embrace the Stoic principle of amor fati, a love of your fate. This means accepting and even loving every part of your journey, especially the setbacks. A failed investment is not a tragedy. It is a tuition payment for a valuable lesson in prudence. A rejected business proposal is not a sign of your inadequacy. It is a test of your resilience. 1. Embracing the no, turning rejection into resilience. buildingout.com. When you can truly love your fate, you become invincible. The world loses its power to harm you because you have decided that everything that happens without exception is a tool for your own growth. Failure is no longer something to be feared. It is something to be welcomed as a teacher. This is the mindset that eradicates all fear and unlocks your full creative potential. Maya began this work. She bought a journal. She started cross-examining her belief that she wasn't a money person. She broke down the goal of starting her agency into a series of tiny daily steps. She practiced reframing her fear of failure, and she started to see her setbacks not as proof of her inadequacy, but as necessary lessons on her path. The change was slow at first, almost imperceptible, but it was real. The walls of her prison began to feel less solid. A little light started to shine through the cracks. She felt a budding sense of her own power, a quiet confidence that she had never felt before. She was not just hoping for her potential to be unlocked. She was actively, methodically picking the lock. And then, one day, the walls came down. It was not a single dramatic event. It was a quiet realization. A moment when she looked at a financial challenge, and instead of feeling the old, familiar fear, she felt a sense of calm curiosity, a feeling of, I can handle this. In that moment, she knew she was free, and with that freedom, her potential was finally unleashed. It flowed out of her, a mighty river that had been dammed up for years. She started her design agency. She created a sensible, long-term investment plan. She was not a different person. She was the same Maya, but she was finally operating at her full capacity, free from the drag of her own self-imposed limitations. This is what it means to unlock your financial potential. It is a process of subtraction, not addition. It is about removing the barriers that are holding you back. Your potential is already there, within you, like a magnificent statue trapped inside a block of marble. The Stoic practices are the chisel you will use to chip away the excess stone and reveal the masterpiece within. And the real wealth you will amass is a twofold treasure. Yes, it is the financial prosperity that is the natural result of your unleashed potential. But more importantly, it is the inner wealth of a free and masterful mind. It is the peace, the confidence, and the resilience you have forged in the process of your own liberation. This is the wealth that truly matters. Let's pause right here in our mental gymnasium. The work of breaking down these internal barriers is the hardest work a human being can do. It requires immense honesty and courage, and it is often done in silence because we are ashamed to admit that the thing holding us back is our own mind. It is time to end that silence. You are not alone in this struggle. Every single person, from the most successful CEO to the struggling artist, is contending with their own set of mental barriers. This is not a sign of your personal defect. It is a fundamental part of the human condition. To be human is to have the potential for both self-sabotage and self-mastery. The choice of which path to follow is ours. This community is a place where we can be honest about this struggle. It is a shared training ground where we can spot each other as we lift our heavy mental weights. It's a place where we can share the techniques that are working and to find encouragement when we feel our strength failing. The journey of self-mastery is a personal one, but it does not have to be a lonely one. The Stoics themselves were great believers in the power of fellowship. They were constantly learning from each other, challenging each other, and supporting each other in their shared practice of philosophy. Let us continue that noble tradition here in this modern digital format. Let us be a source of strength for one another. So, I ask you to engage in a courageous act of self-identification. In the comments section below, I want you to name the primary barrier that is caging your own potential. Which of the four walls is the highest and thickest for you? Is it the wall of limiting beliefs, the moat of procrastination, the guard tower of fear, or the warden of imposter syndrome? Just name it. My biggest barrier is procrastination. I'm held back by my fear of failure. I constantly struggle with the belief that I'm not smart enough. This act of naming your enemy is an act of power. It is the first step in any successful campaign. You cannot defeat an enemy you are unwilling to identify. After you have named your barrier, read the admissions of others. You will see with startling clarity that you are not alone. Your personal demon is a common foe. Offer a word of support to a fellow trainee who is fighting the same battle. I'm working on that too. You have the strength to break it. Let's create an atmosphere of mutual support and shared struggle. This is how we help each other get free. We bring the enemy out of the shadows of our private minds and into the bright, collective light of the community, where it can be seen, understood, and defeated. Thank you for your courage and your honesty. This is the work of a true student of life. Now let us envision the life that awaits on the other side of these broken walls. What does it feel like to live as a person who is operating at their full potential? What is the nature of the real wealth that this unlocked person amasses? We must have a clear and compelling vision of the open sky to motivate us to break out of the coop. The person who has broken their mental barriers moves through the world with a sense of graceful power. They are not aggressive, but they are confident. They are not arrogant, but they have a quiet and profound self-respect. They are no longer their own worst enemy. They are their own greatest ally. They trust themselves, and this self-trust is the foundation of all their success. Their financial life is a reflection of this inner state. It is orderly, it is purposeful, and it is calm. They are the master of their money, not its anxious servant. They make decisions from a place of rational empowerment, not from a place of fear or limiting beliefs. Their outer world of wealth is a direct and beautiful manifestation of their inner world of freedom. This is the real wealth. It is not just the assets on the balance sheet. It is the peace in the mind. It is the freedom from the old, tired anxieties. It is the joy of fully expressing your own innate talents and capabilities in the world. It is the profound satisfaction of knowing that you have become the architect of your own life, the master of your own soul. This wealth is real because it is holistic. It is a prosperity of the entire person. It is financial abundance, yes, but it is also a richness of character, a depth of wisdom, and a wellspring of inner peace. This is the kind of wealth that supports a genuinely good and flourishing life. This is the life that Maya built for herself. A life where her creativity and her financial acumen were no longer at war, but were working in perfect harmony. A life where she was not just a successful designer, but a wise and serene human being. A life where she was no longer scratching in the dirt, but soaring in the vast and open sky of her own unlocked potential. This is not a fairy tale. This is the natural and predictable result of applying the Stoic keys to the locks of your own self-imposed limitations. You have the potential for this same transformation within you right now. The masterpiece is already in the marble. You just need to pick up the chisel and begin the work of chipping away all that is not you. The ultimate freedom is the freedom from yourself. From the old habits, the old stories, the old fears. The Stoic path is the most direct and effective path to this freedom that has ever been devised. It is a timeless user's manual for the human mind. So let this be the day you decide to read that manual. Let this be the day you decide to stop being a prisoner of your own psychology and to start being its master. Let this be the day you declare that your potential will no longer be caged. This is a journey of becoming. With every limiting belief you shatter, with every act of procrastination you conquer, with every fear you face, you are becoming a new person. You are becoming the powerful, prosperous, and peaceful person you were always meant to be. This is the real work of your life, your career, your investments. These are just the arenas in which this deeper work takes place. The real project is you. The building of a strong, virtuous, and unconquerable character. This is the project that gives all the other projects their meaning. And the beauty of this project is that you cannot fail. In the Stoic view, the victory is in the attempt. As long as you are engaged in the good faith effort to master yourself, to break your barriers, you are succeeding in the only way that truly matters. The journey itself is the prize. So, release yourself from the pressure of a perfect outcome. Just commit to the daily practice. Commit to using the keys. Commit to the process of becoming. The results will take care of themselves. Let the voices of the Stoics be your coaches and your mentors on this journey. When you feel a limiting belief creeping in, hear Epictetus challenging you to examine it. When you feel the paralysis of fear, hear Seneca reminding you to practice for hardship. When you feel the sting of a setback, hear Marcus Aurelius counseling you to find the lesson in the obstacle. You are joining a lineage of mental warriors, of self-sculptors, of philosophical athletes. This is your heritage as a rational human being. It is time to claim it. It is time to step into your own power. The world is full of people who are waiting for someone else to come and unlock their cage. They are waiting for a lucky break, for a perfect opportunity for the world to change. The Stoic knows that this is a fool's hope. The Stoic knows that the key is in their own hand, and the time to use it is always now. Be the one who uses the key. Be the one who takes responsibility for your own liberation. Be the one who decides that your potential is too precious to be left in a cage for one more day. Your financial potential is a direct reflection of your psychological freedom. The more you free your mind from these internal barriers, the more your capacity to create, to earn, to invest, and to prosper will naturally and effortlessly expand. Fix the inner world, and the outer world will follow. This is the ultimate secret to wealth. It is not a stock tip. It is not a business tactic. It is the simple, profound, and timeless truth that you are the only thing standing in your own way, and therefore, you are the only one who can set yourself free. So, what is the first wall you will attack? What is the first key you will use? The great escape begins with a single, deliberate act of rebellion against your own self-imposed limitations. Let that act be today. Imagine the person you will be a year from now, after 365 days of this dedicated practice. A person who is free from the old anxieties, a person who is taking bold, intelligent action in the world, a person who is living a life that is a true and full expression of their own innate potential. This person is not a dream. They are your destiny if you choose to walk this path. This is not about becoming arrogant or reckless. It is about becoming grounded, confident, and wise. It's about building a life on the solid rock of self-knowledge and self-mastery, rather than the shifting sands of self-doubt and fear. This is the ultimate creative act. You are taking the raw material of your current self, with all its perceived flaws and limitations, and you are sculpting it into a masterpiece. There is no greater or more satisfying work, and you will find that as you do this work, your relationship with money becomes simple, clear, and peaceful. It is no longer a source of fear or confusion. It is simply a tool, a resource that the new, powerful you can use to build a beautiful and meaningful life. This is the peace that awaits you on the other side of your own self-imposed walls. The peace of a mind that is no longer at war with itself, the peace of a life that is in perfect alignment with its own vast and beautiful potential. So, let the jailbreak begin. Let the walls come tumbling down. Let the eagle who thought it was a chicken finally take a look at the sky and realize it was born to fly. Your potential is calling to you. It is a quiet voice that has been whispering to you for years, telling you that you are capable of more. Today is the day you honor that voice. Today is the day you decide to become the person you were always meant to be. The keys are in your hand. The cage door is unlocked. The only thing left to do is to take that first, terrifying and exhilarating step into the bright sunlight of your own freedom. This is a journey of profound self-love. It is the act of loving yourself enough to refuse to live a life that is smaller than your potential. It is the act of believing in the masterpiece that is trapped within you and having the courage to do the work to reveal it. This is the real wealth, the confidence, the peace, the self-mastery. The money is just a byproduct. It's a pleasant and useful consequence of the far more important work of unlocking yourself. So, focus on the real prize, your own liberation. Make that the goal. Make the mastery of your own mind your highest ambition. Do that, and the financial prosperity you desire will flow to you as a natural and effortless result. This is the great Stoic reversal. Don't chase the wealth, chase the wisdom. Don't pursue the riches, pursue the resilience. Don't hunt for the success, hunt for the serenity. Do this, and you will end up with all of them. The world will tell you to work on your resume. The Stoics tell you to work on your character. Which do you think is the more leveraged investment? Which will pay greater dividends over the course of a lifetime? Let this be the day you shift your focus from the external to the internal, from the portfolio of your stocks to the portfolio of your own mind, from the net worth of your assets to the net worth of your own character. This is the path to a life that is not just successful, but substantial, not just rich, but real, not just prosperous, but peaceful. This is the path of the Stoic. Remember the 4 keys. Use them daily. The sledgehammer of reason, the crowbar of the present, the shield of perspective, the mirror of true worth. They are your tools, your weapons, your instruments of liberation. Your prison was built one thought at a time. Your freedom will be built in the same way. One new thought, one new choice, one new action, repeated with discipline and with courage until a new you has been forged. This is the ultimate power. The power to create yourself, the power to be the architect of your own soul. The Stoic philosophy is simply the blueprint for this divine and deeply human project. So, go forth and build, break down the old walls, and from the rubble, build a new life, a life that is a true and fitting monument to the vast and beautiful potential that has been within you all along. The world is waiting for the real you to emerge. The powerful, peaceful, and prosperous you that has been trapped behind the walls of your own mind. It is time to introduce that person to the world. The time for playing small is over. The time for living in the cage is over. Your potential is a force of nature. It is time to unleash it. And you will find that this is the most exciting adventure of all. The journey of self-discovery and self-creation. It is the hero's journey, and you are the hero. The dragon you must slay is the one that lives within your own mind. This is a daily training. Your mind is a garden, and if you do not actively cultivate the flowers of reason and courage, the weeds of fear and self-doubt will automatically grow back. The daily work is the work of a vigilant gardener. See this channel as your daily supply of seeds and gardening tools, a place to come to get the reminders and the techniques you need to keep your inner garden flourishing. Your commitment to this daily practice is your commitment to your own beautiful harvest. And remember the power of our community of fellow gardeners. We are all here, tending to our own plots, but we can share our best tools, our most resilient seeds, and our encouragement when the weather is harsh. Together we can cultivate a world of flourishing souls. The real wealth you will amass will be a testament to the quality of your inner work. It will be a fortune that is calm, that is purposeful, that is resilient. It will be a fortune that is a direct reflection of the beautiful and well-tended garden within your own soul. This is the ultimate expression of your potential. A life where your inner and outer worlds are in perfect, prosperous, and peaceful harmony. A life where you are not just a prisoner of your own mind, but its joyful and benevolent master, Let the final image be one of liberation. The cage door swinging open, the eagle taking flight, the statue emerging from the stone. This is the image of your own potential unlocked. You have the keys, you have the chisel, you have the power. The only question that remains is, what will you do with it? Will you begin the great work today? Your future self, the prosperous and peaceful version of you, is calling to you from across time. They are urging you to be brave. They are urging you to begin the jailbreak. They are urging you to come and meet them. Do not let them down. Your financial potential is not a number. It is a state of being. It is the freedom to live your life to the fullest, unhindered by the ghosts of your own mind. Go and claim that freedom. It is your birthright. Thank you for showing up for your training today. The work of breaking mental barriers is the most important work there is, and it requires daily reinforcement. If you are committed to this path of unlocking your full potential, please like this video and subscribe. We provide daily mental workouts, new videos every day to help you stay strong, stay focused, and stay free.